Hi there, welcome back. So today's video, Wayne is doing the demonstration for you. Going to use one of these beautiful molds. Now this mold is called Avian Love. It's by Prima. My gosh, these molds, a little bit of an investment, but they're definitely worth it. Look at that, the detail. Amazing, beyond any kind of detail I've seen in any other molds, no matter what brand, whether they're cheap or expensive. Another one here which has got roses in it. So the first one was called Avian Love and this one's called Victorian Rose. Thank you to Gypsy Rose, who's one of our subscribers, for suggesting that we look for this brand of mold. We were actually looking for some ammonite molds, not these, but stumbled across these and couldn't resist them. Also couldn't resist to purchase the Let's Resin Chrome Powder. I've seen a couple of other artists on YouTube using them, and my goodness me, the pop of colour, amazing. Obviously you're going to have a slightly different effect with the mould that Wayne's going to use today in this video because it's a matte mould. So that's just something to bear in mind with the kind of mould you're using anyway. So first up, look at this beautiful green, goodness. And then a lovely red, and then a mauvey pinky purpley colour as well, just coming up. There we are. That's actually a pinky colour, but it comes out looking mauvey. And don't forget, bit of gold, you know, can't go wrong with a bit of gold. And he's just going to use the brush that's been supplied with the powders to apply it. Now you'll have seen us do this before, so this is on a time lapse because he took his time just applying the powder into the molds. Now, yes, with hindsight, we could have used a lot less of the powder in these molds, but first time using the powders and first time using these molds. So interesting to see how they take to the mold. Do they leave any residue, staining or marking of the mold? And, you know, how do they actually turn out in the end? Now, behaving a lot like the chameleon powders that you might have seen, although these don't fly everywhere. That's one thing I will say. There's no static involved here. It looking absolutely stunning. So there's three different sections to this mold. You've got a branch with some green leaves, you've got a lovely gold scroll, and you've got the double rose. Now he's dusted everything, he's wiped it down. You've probably seen another sneaky peek of the next video on the left there as well. He's made up a very small amount of Tea Expert resin. That's just the brand of our choice currently. We're not sponsored by anybody at all. We don't have things supplied to us. We make all the purchases for the materials we use in these videos ourselves. He's added in a little bit of black pigment there. It's not opaque enough, as in it's not dense enough solid colour. He added in some more and he thought that it was probably going to do the trick, but you know, we're like a lot of things with hindsight, think we needed to use something more along the lines of a Vista black pigment paste or liquid in this, which we can't currently find. Well, no, we've got some, but I'm not sure where it is. One of those kinds of moments. So here we go. We're just he's going to pour it in. So I've got a bit more of a close-up here for you. Now, by all means, for the more detailed, more delicate, intricate parts of molds, decant the resin into smaller containers. You know, the little silicone mixing jugs? You have a lot more control. I know if it was me doing that, then doing this, then I would certainly be doing that. He's then also just using a silicone-tipped little tool there, which I could brush to make sure all the resin goes into all the little fine details of that part of the mold. So you don't have to use all of the sections of this mold. You could just use the flowers with the foliage. You could just use the scroll. You could just use you could repeat the foliage part on the little branch there. Depends on what you're making, I suppose. Now I'm thinking the scroll could probably go on some furniture, maybe if you wanted to bring up the level of some furniture, perhaps if you were upcycling a piece. We've done that recently with a few things. Maybe we'll be sharing some more of that sort of thing with you in the future videos. The roses, same sort of thing, although for the purpose of this video, you'll have already have seen, we actually put them in a picture frame to show you what they look like, with the addition of a little something else that you won't have seen us made, but you've probably seen us make in previous videos. If you haven't checked out any of our previous videos, why not look at our playlists? They're mainly how to make videos, but we have done some collaborations in the past. We've got an upcoming collaboration. I say upcoming, it's in June, but time is approaching as to when we have started preparing for that, but no more clues as to what we're doing. But you know, stay tuned. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, you hit notification all, and give us a thumbs up. Have you ever used these kinds of molds? This brand by Prima, I think it's called Re-Design by Prima. They also make some absolutely stunning decoupage papers. So as you can probably tell, I might be tempted to go and have another look. Everything that we've used in today's video in the way of materials is going to be linked in the description box below. Also need to make you aware of the fact that we are now an Amazon affiliate. So if you click on the link, I think it takes you to our storefront. I'm not 100% certain on this because, again, it's a lot of first times in this video. If you click on that link and then you decide to make a purchase from there, then we will get maybe sort of 2 or 3 pence back, or a little bit of contribution back in the way of an affiliate commission to help with our channel. So anything like that, just to make you aware of the fact, anything like that isn't paid to anyone as a wage. This is our hobby. It will be used by Further Materials for making things to publish in videos for your pleasure, and hopefully to inspire you as well to have a go yourself. So he's demolded that beautiful gold scroll, and he's done the branch with the leaves on it. Can you see the effect though with the matte molds, and can you see where it's not quite dark enough, that resin that he used? We've got a little bit of staining on that mold, but he did wipe that over just with a regular wipe, and it did come out nice and clean. But look at that. Now I do quite like that matte tone. I love the effect on the leaves. You've got like light and dark shading and shadow, which is really nice. Now Wayne was really happy with that, however wanted to see what it would look like. I still can't get over the colour of that green. So vibrant, so vibrant. I mean, we've got some Monstera leaf moulds, and I got all kinds of ideas going through at the moment. Now, what he's got in that little plastic container there is some UV resin. Now, as you can see, Wayne is not wearing gloves. Wayne is happy not to wear gloves when he's using UV resin because he is actually very, how do I put this, careful when using UV resin and things like that. Although I would highly recommend wearing gloves at all times, no matter what kind of resin you're using, whether it's epoxy resin, UV resin, polyurethane resin, or even eco resin. But that's just me. I would say please follow the manufacturer's instructions and guidelines when it comes to mixing resin. The environment that you use it in, as in work in a well ventilated area, wear your respirator mask, wear gloves, and wear protective clothing, or wear old clothing, wear an apron. I wear sleeve protectors as well. All that kind of thing is available online, you know, for you to purchase. But it is very, very important that you do protect yourself at all times. I mean, obviously, once it's fully cured, there's no problem at all. Right. So as you can see there, he applied the UV resin, and it's amazing the difference. It just brings it back from the matte finish, which is lovely. Don't get me wrong, the matte finish is fantastic. And if that's what you want to go for, then great. But if you're going to use it on a piece of furniture as an additional decoration, and it hasn't got a gloss finish, it's got like a mid sheen or a satin wood or a matte finish, then I would probably leave these matte finish themselves. I wouldn't put the UV resin on. I mean, if you had a black door on a unit or a cupboard or a sideboard piece of furniture, these scrolls that Wayne's got here, they would look lovely. I mean, even if you did the roses that you saw him doing in the pink and the red, if you did those in gold or different shades of golds, if you've got any of the metallic powders that are also by Let's Resin, I think, and maybe some of the chameleon powders as well, they would just look absolutely stunning. So here we go. He's now doing the roses. Now, we're just looking at this one a bit more closely. I think where the red petals finish and then he's got some green as well. I think those were probably supposed to be red as well, maybe. But I don't think it doesn't really matter. But maybe something to bear in mind in the future, that those aren't leaves, they're actually just outer petals, although they don't really follow through very well with the design. Apologies for the lighting and the juddery camera. Obviously this is on a time lapse, and it just kept focusing in and out. For those of you who don't know, we do all our filming just using an iPhone. And who knows, in the future, maybe we'll be able to get a camera that's dedicated and the appropriate one for filming these kinds of videos. Who knows? Right. So in a couple of weeks' time, we're actually going to be going to Makers Central, which is an event here being held at the Birmingham NEC. I'm not sure if they've got any tickets left. We don't have any codes or anything like that for free tickets, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. We're only a small channel compared to some of the YouTubers that are going to be there. We're hoping to meet up with the lovely Jules from Resin Jules, and also with Chrissy from Soapy. I believe Nick Zametti is the person that organises the Makers Central exhibition, which is great. And there are lots of other people. Jimmy DeResta's going to be there, Bobby Duke. I mean, some of these names you will know, some of them maybe not. But we certainly hope to meet up with Jules and Chrissy. And it'd be just nice to say hello and hi and actually meet people in real life. But also to see a lot of the other things on offer that you can buy for all kinds of woodworking crafts, metalwork, resin. I think there's also usually Pebeo paints are there as well. I think Posca pens were there last year. We tend to go every year, make a real day of it and just enjoy, soak up the atmosphere and have a look and see what other people make and create. It's great. Lots and lots of things made from wood. Lots of things made from wood. Some things made from leather as well, too, which is always nice to see. And there's lots of things going on the main stage, exhibitions, demonstrations, I should say, of how to do things, and talks with some of the bigger names out there. Well, I believe Colin Furze is also going to be there, who's got a fantastic channel. So a little bit of a shout out there to everybody else. But obviously that's at Birmingham NEC here in the UK. And that is on 2 weeks' time. So 2 weeks' time over the weekend. Look at that. So as you can see there, just to give you the heads up, Wayne is not holding this now where there is wet resin. The resin had completely cured. And he is just making sure that he's putting the UV resin over every part of this particular flower. Now these were still a bit bendy, so I mean if you wanted to shape them around, if you had wanted to put them on a pot and so on, then shape them around the pot. You'd still be able to do that with them. But now I can tell you now, we're a few days further on, they are completely solid. So he's just putting it under the light there. So here we go. Here's one of a couple of the final shots. There's the bee. Now the bee, or the moth, I'm not sure what one that is. It's our creative license for the bee. Was a little something extra that we made. But look at it. There we go. So that's it in a horizontal frame. Beautiful. And here we are in the vertical without the bee. So I think they make some lovely, lovely pictures. So thank you if you've joined us in the live chat today for the premiere. If you subscribe to our channel, thank you very much again. Don't forget to give us the thumbs up and hit the notification bell. And we will see you all again in a few days' time with another video. probably using the other mould. Take care everyone. Bye-bye.